Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wolverine Chat. I'm your host, Tim Raymond. I just wanted to touch base. It's not going to be a long video, but I want to talk about the sky falling here in Ann Arbor. The sky is not falling. Okay. I am probably the most negative Nelly during a game or worried they're going to lose as anybody. Every chance until that is 0-0 and Michigan has the lead, or whether it's Lions or any Tigers, anything has the lead, and we win, I am expecting a loss. Part of it is to protect myself. I just don't like losing. It hurts to lose. So if I expect to lose or think we might, and I'm ready to give up, and they win, it's great happiness, and the loss isn't as bad. But as soon as that game ends, I'm the first one to start thinking, why are people saying this or doing this? This is not a bad season. We've got an 18-year-old freshman at quarterback who, in his first month and a half, played at Norman, Oklahoma, played at Lincoln, Nebraska, and played at Madison, Wisconsin. At USC. We have our best player on the team wasn't on the team last year, Justin Haynes. Wasn't there. We've got 3 redshirt freshmen on the offensive line. Okay. Nobody we could have groomed from last year. Part of the problem is the last few years we have not been recruiting well. For a national championship game, we should just be plugging and replacing. But we're not. We're having to put in these freshmen. Our best receiver, you could say, is another 18-year-old freshman, Marsh. Donovan McCulley might be up there, but probably Donovan is or Marsh is our best receiver. We got new, offensive coach, Chip Lindsey. They came into the season, a lot of young talent, youngest team in the Big Ten. We've gotten through the hardest part of our season, and we still have our goals ahead of us. We went out. We can do no worse than second place, and depending on tiebreakers, see how we end up in Indianapolis. I think there's a very good chance we win out. In fact, I know we're going to be if we win out and beat Ohio State, we're in the playoffs. When the season started, I really wasn't sure what to think about this team. I knew they had some young talent, but I really wasn't positive they're going to be into the playoffs. I wasn't sure about. I was worried about Oklahoma, of course, USC. I was worried about, and look at that. That's what happened. Look, we beat Michigan State with 273 yards rushing. That was the most since 81 and 83. Or excuse me, since, I don't know, about 40 years. Tim Touchdown Tim Tibak Luka. I'm not saying that right. This is having a brain fart, but we remember Touchdown Tim. We haven't scored 80 points since 81 and 86. That's what I was trying to say. That's the most, going to Lansing, East Lansing, and doing that. A lot of people are upset they didn't pass enough. They came out trying to pass. For some reason, Bryce wasn't having it, or we weren't getting separation. But they were trying to. Luckily, they had Plan B, something they knew they could do. They wanted to pass. They knew they could run. When it wasn't working, they went to that run game, and then they took care of business. The defense just was on fire. Couple series, and that was it. I don't count that last series. They had 16 RPOs with Bryce. Like there were, why didn't he pass on those? He chose to run on 15 of those 16. Well, what if the coach says, run on those? Well, then they're not RPOs. They're handoffs, okay? it was up to Bryce to decide. And he ran on 15 of those 16. So now, if you want to get, like end game problems, I'm with you. I'm with you. I watch those games, and sometimes they're hard to watch, especially sometimes when that offense is not able to do anything. That second half, that Norman game in Norman, Oklahoma, USC, part of the USC game, was just tough to watch. But they're young. They're very young. They're freshmen all throughout. They really don't have a backup quarterback. I don't know what to think about Jaden Davis. I'm not there. I'm not in practice. But basically, you know what I'm saying. They don't have a backup quarterback. So, you know what? Things are pretty good here in Ann Arbor. You know why? We're going this way. We're not going this way. We're not little brother. This is little brother. This is U of M. Okay? This rival, those MSU fans weren't even, it was they expected to lose. They had no excitement. Now, of course, probably they were right. They did expect to lose, and they should feel that way. But if that's getting into this, where they're going to have absolutely no confidence, like, why do I care? Why is this even a rivalry anymore? It was a rivalry when the teams were both good. That's when it's good. So that's why I always want state to be a little better, so it could be a better rivalry. But right now, it's just not. And right now, Michigan is in the driver's seat. And for the next couple of years, we're in a good trajectory, okay? Everybody wanted to give up on Jim Harbaugh after a couple of years. He turned it around. He turned the program around immediately, but he didn't get to that next level till later. And so they're not going to get rid of Sharon Moore. They're just not. They do another couple mid-years, yeah, they will, but not right now. So don't stop talking about who we're going to get that's replace him. It's not going to happen. Sharon Moore is our coach, and he's a good coach. He's got to learn some things. Yes, I want to see him open it up a little bit, like they did when he was gone. But now they got a few weeks to get right. They got Purdue. Then they got a bye week. Then they got Maryland. So we got, 3 weeks to get better. And then they come in with big bad Ohio State. And by the way, there's not a player on Ohio State who has beaten Michigan and wore those gold pants. Last time Ohio State beat Michigan in a non-COVID year was 2019. Last year, I would think we all agree was Michigan was their worst team in a long time. No quarterback. They had a guy who could hand off the ball, literally. No quarterback. And they beat him. I think we'd agree that Ohio State last year, well, they won the national championship, so they did, and we beat them. This year, Michigan's a lot better. Ohio State is a pretty good team, a very good team, I believe. But if we could beat them last year, who says we can't beat them this year? It's in Ann Arbor. I've seen worse things. So don't say there's no way we're going to beat Ohio State. It'll be tough, but they can, okay? They could beat them last year. They can beat them. They beat them how many years in a row? Bryce is going to get better for the next. Well, to beat them, we have to have a rounded offense. We have to have Bryce being able to throw downfield to, Donovan, McCulley, and Andrew Marsh. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Samaj Morgan. Look, I know he's a good kid. I've heard him interview. He's just a nice kid, but he is hurting our team. Now, at what point do we start blaming the coaches who are putting him in those positions rather than blaming him? He does what he does. He drops passes. He catches the ball within at the 5-yard line. Last year he was a pretty good punt returner. I remember he ran a punt return back in the Big Ten championship game versus Iowa. Was it? Or Purdue? I can't remember. It was the second one. It was that kind of the boring Big Ten championship game. So anyway, let's enjoy a big win against our rival on the road. It is hard to do that. And if you do that, just take the victory, okay? We all know that last touchdown was kind of crap. It should have been 31 to 13, but it wasn't, and we won, and we still won pretty easily, despite having no passing game whatsoever, and nothing in the first half. My point is, guys, stick. It's okay to question things, and even in the game, I get it. I watch the game, but the sky is not falling in Ann Arbor. The sun is breaking through. You can see half the sun. Next year, that sun's going to be shining, and in 2 years, there's not going to be a cloud in the sky. Next couple of years, it's going to be fun. So let's just enjoy the journey, okay? I know it sounds kind of corny, but let's enjoy the journey. Get ready. I'm going to the game Saturday. I'm going to tailgate, going to watch them hopefully get right with Purdue. I'm not sure how much they're going to try to run it up. They may save some of their players so they have a bye the following week and really get healthy. I'm not sure that Justice Hayes is going to play next week. They may stick him out, and he has 2 weeks to get ready for Maryland. I don't know, but I'm thinking it's more going to be somewhere around 35 to 10, something like that. I'd like to see a 54 to 3, 48 to nothing game, but I think it's going to be a little closer than that. Anyway, thanks again for listening. I'll say it again. Please like, subscribe, comment, anything to grow this channel. It's tough to get these things started and grow it. I do it out of pure love for the University of Michigan and football. And thanks. God bless. Go out and do something special for your neighbor, for a friend, for a family member, somebody who for the elderly, somebody who can't help, somebody who's handicapped. Just do something special. And have a great week, and go blue. Let's beat Purdue. Bye-bye.